the average we're paying like well over 150 bucks a foot. Well, $11.
Good morning.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. We got a few minutes here.
Billy's out there seeing the talks. Easy. Billy.
Billy, I hope you're not getting writer's cramp over there.
No, he's not in here yet. He's out front, Chad was saying, talking to somebody. But yeah, Billy's got a big stack over there.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Need to drove past Asher River. Oh man, we need to. The best grass over there. Really? Yes, I can't believe it. It looked like terrible for like 3 weeks. Now it.
Amazing what a little change in temperature and moisture will do.
Really? And what was making it worse is like I told you it was watering. The neighbor just to the south was not. So I was like, oh my, here we are, going in water. Versus,
Yeah.
it's just crazy how this has been.
You know, I haven't even, I should look at what South Main looks like too. I know that was really popping after that last rain.
The school where they watered that south section is really good. The bear lot is good. Joe's is
Spotty?
spotty.
Okay. No.
I mean,
All right.
it's getting there.
Frank is outside.
Oh! I was going to say, you either had an awfully good dinner.
No,
I haven't been home yet.
I'm still here for Frank, so. It's good. It's okay.
Chad was going to try to call him. Brittany was unlikely.
Good thing there came somebody, so it's just you on the phone, isn't Bill, or anybody else on the phone?
It dings if somebody's going.
Okay. Oh, we have.
I'm still here.
You're still there, perfect.
We're good.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
And the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everyone. First up on the agenda is additions to and approval of the agenda.
Two changes here, Mayor. Recommend deleting under old business, item A, the surplus equipment resolution. We haven't heard back with official word yet on that. I'd like to add executive session for legal.
Okay.
Motion approved as amended.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, agenda approved as amended. See no visitors to be heard. We'll move on to the consent agenda.
Motion approved.
Second.
A motion, a second, any discussion there?
I just wanted to maybe talk a little bit about the slurry seal project. I've had a few people reach out to me and wonder why it's so rough. Why does it look so bad? What's the deal? So if, Dexter, if you could speak to that.
Yes. So first off, the roughness. It is a rough material when it comes out, and then over time the traffic packs it. Now this is a little bit rougher than maybe typical, but we do foresee that getting packed down and smooth, like normal years. Now recently we have observed this white spots that are popping up. They're also popping up in Harrisburg as well.
Okay.
I'm in correspondence with the contractor trying to figure out why that is, if they washed the truck with something, if it was some type of defect, because everything was installed per specs. We just don't know where this is coming from, and maybe it's nothing. Maybe it was some residue that was on the streets.
Okay.
So we are in correspondence with that contractor. We're going to monitor it. If something needs to be done, we will definitely resolve it.
Yeah, it's strange. It's not something you see everywhere. I think if you look at 2nd west of Juniper, you'll see it pretty.
Just talking about the slurry seal right now, Chad.
And a couple other spots too. It's just a really odd thing. So.
And they were completed on different days, different temperatures.
Yeah.
And then Harrisburg was.
I said Harrisburg has it too?
And they were another 15 degrees warmer.
Than we were.
Yeah, they had a warmer stretch in there. Because that was the first thing that was brought up, because we were on the bottom end of that. We're still within spec, but we were on the bottom end of that. But it's happening in Harrisburg too.
Did Hartford use the same?
Yes.
I drove on some of theirs, and theirs was similar looking.
Was it?
Yeah.
And theirs was done months before. So, maybe I could run up there and take a look at.
Yeah, there's a stretch on the west end of town that goes out of town.
Yep.
They did all that street there.
Yeah.
That was the one that I drove on.
But those white spots popped up in the last 2 days, 1 day.
Is it like pitting or is it
So they're about quarter size dips, and they're all kind of sporadically spaced, and then in those dips is this white, cloudy.
It's just this milky surface.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
And the dips, I think, are popping out so much more because there is that color in there. When it's first laid, it looks very smooth. Obviously, it's rough. It's all the same black.
What street is the detour? 3rd or 4th? That when you're coming from the north or 2nd?
Second.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 2nd looks pretty good, but I think it's 3rd or 4th that looks a lot rougher, I guess, in my opinion.
Correct.
Yeah, third we expect it to look rougher too.
'Cause the street is
just
already-
because of the condition of that
yeah.
street.
And it's not like this is made to level that stuff out.
No.
It's going to go with the contour of the road. So.
I hate to use the phrase lipstick on the pavement, but that's what it is for some of these.
Right.
It's meant to protect the street surface. It's not going to fix the fact that that street is in poor condition.
And I think people need to realize that it's not going to level out what's there.
And it's not a top lift. I mean, I
No.
think that people are expecting it as asphalt. It's just not.
Although there were areas where it was thick enough that you probably could have put that on. We're going to get a lot of wear out of that.
What I would say is, if you look at like Academy between 5th and 4th, that was done 2 years ago, and that has, it looked very, very similar, and it's compacted. The overlap is compacted. You can still see.
Same with Cherry and Poplar.
Yep. You can still see where they're at, but it just takes time to push it down.
Yeah. And the alternative is the pink rock that you put the
Chips.
The chips.
yeah, the chip seal. Yeah.
I don't think we've done that for 7 years.
Since 15, I think it was. Yeah. So 7 years, yes.
And I don't know if anybody on the council's had this, but I've had people ask about why don't we roll it? Now, obviously, you can't roll liquid when it's going down. Are there any jurisdictions that you know of that roll after it's cured? Does that do anything?
We're going to attempt it in Harrisburg on the seam only.
Okay.
So
See what it does.
typically we just let normal traffic hit it,
Mm-hmm.
and that does it.
Yeah.
But we are going to try it in Harrisburg.
So do theirs look like ours, or they got some rougher spots than us even yet?
It's very similar to your streets, where some streets are
Pretty good.
pretty good, real good.
Like this right over here is good.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Central Basin streets are mostly good.
Yeah, and then the next block, it just changes. It's,
Yeah.
Aggregate size was within spec, everything.
yep.
It just needs some time, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I'm hoping there's some residue or something that keep an eye on it, kind of see if we can limit it down to what it is. ASCO's fully aware of this, and we're on board to do whatever we need to do.
Were those streets, the ones that are shown in white, were those down before we got that rain? Would that have anything to do with it?
So that is one of the questions, was this precipitation and how long it was down before, yes. That's one thing we're gonna look at.
When you look at Second Avenue over here though, that was done after, that was the day after the rain, that afternoon after the rain.
Yeah.
And moisture should have been a non-issue.
And that was some of that stuff too.
And Harrisburg was
Dry.
5 days before that.
Right.
So it's,
And very
but yeah, we're trying to look at the temperatures, the moistures, the streets were clean, so I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep an eye on it though.
All right, thanks, Jackie.
All right, any other items, discussion on the consent agenda? All right, hearing none, we had a motion second, so we'll do roll call.
Actually, I'm sorry, I did have more to bring, I just didn't hear you ask, my apologies.
No, you're fine.
Nate, thanks for leading the community engagement through Facebook Live. You had shared the statistics in your city administrator's report, and I see decline as well, but I do believe in the process, and I do believe you need to keep this going. You had asked for some feedback about possibly holding live public meetings, and I, of course, wouldn't be opposed to it, but I think that'd be a fun conversation to have on Facebook Live to see if we can get that level of engagement. As we all know, historically, getting folks to show up to a public meeting for a public discussion has not been very fruitful for us. So maybe leading it through that grassroots effort might actually generate some attendance.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I think it's easy for us to assume that the folks that we're missing with these online events are the folks over age 65. Ironically, our audience is actually healthier at the 65 group than it is from 18 to 35. So the folks we're missing are probably younger families and not our older retirees. But regardless, I do have some postcards ready to go for on November 9th in person. I might have to push that back a week. Whether it's to get more input tomorrow night at that event or otherwise. And I agree, regardless of whether the engagement is down a little bit from the first one, the numbers are still pretty solid in terms of how many people are getting to attend and ask questions. And the questions we're getting are good questions for the most part. There's a few of them that are, I'll just put in the category of silly. But beyond that, I think they've been a good learning opportunity for everybody, including myself. So.
Is it time for us to put out an RFP for a scrolling sign that we could mount and put up public information, invitations to join, notifications, things of that nature? Is it time for us to get a price on something like that?
I don't see why not. We've got a place we can put it now, I think.
I know that was discussed when we talked about the
landscaping features, yeah. I don't think it hurts to at least look at what this cost is going to be, and then we can decide from there if that would be, if the group is interested, if the council is interested.
I'd like you to do that personally, yes.
All right, any other items before we do roll call? Hearing none. Spear.
Aye.
Welch.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Doherty.
Aye.
Bowers.
Aye.
All right, consent agenda is approved. No old business brings us to new business. Blaine Avenue Pay App 6.
So this is pay request 6. We're completed through last month. All the underground is complete. Concrete is anticipated to be complete as of Monday next week. Then it'll be followed by black dirt, restoration, miscellaneous punch list items, and those items of nature, striping, and mulch as of next Friday. So we're hoping to be substantially complete by next Friday. That is a week before the completion date, but just so you guys are aware that we have a ribbon cutting the 24th, so it's kind of in preparation of that. His mate said you're gonna put a week ahead, but I think they're gonna meet it.
4 days.
I know, that's a lot.
4 days in construction is a lot of days.
It's a big project.
Dexter's the only one that's nervous.
Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, we're planning on getting all that concrete work done, like I said, Monday.
So striping next Friday in preparation for the meeting on Monday.
Correct.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we do have a couple days grace period in there, so.
My only real concern with the ribbon cutting is that it's getting darker earlier, so we may have to have some sight lights, but if that's it, that's really not that big of a deal, so.
Any more RSVPs?
One possible from DNR.
Okay.
Yeah. I talked with one more office when I was in Watertown last week too, so.
And conveniently, we have a substantial completion right before the meeting as well, so the state is even put a little pressure on us as well, which is good. The whole thing's gonna get it done on time, so.
Good.
With that being said, we recommend approval of Pay Request 6 as noted.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? All right, we'll do roll call again. So Riley,
Aye.
Welch,
Aye.
Doherty,
Aye.
Bowers,
Aye.
Spear.
Aye.
All right, PF 6 is approved. Next item is Lennox Fire Department roster.
Mayor and Council got a roster update from the Lennox Volunteer Fire Department. This new roster removes Clayton Hahn and adds Derek Severson. Recommend a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion there? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, new roster is approved. Item C, water treatment plant demolition.
Mayor and Council, the 2022 budget included approximately $70,000 for the demolition of the city's old water treatment plant on West 2nd. Should be West 2nd Avenue. So with our connection to Lewis and Clark and our sale of the wells to South Lincoln Road Water, we really don't have any need for water treatment in Lennox. It's been out of use for several years, serves us no further purpose. So we'd like to proceed. We have Stockwell engineers to do an informal quote process. The results of that are in your memo. Souped Up Construction came in at $54,400. Holstein at $98,000, and First Rate came in at $133,000. We recommend a motion to award the plant demolition to Souped Up pending city attorney review of the contract. So contingent upon city attorney's approval of that contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion there?
So this completely,
Stockwell has vetted out the bid process with SOCUP to make sure that there wasn't something overlooked. These are pretty dramatic differences in price.
Dexter's coming up, Bill.
Yes, Bill, we actually had SUCUP come down and take a look at the facility. All that was entailed, along with calling in locates and actually meeting with Kyle out there. And they are very comfortable with the price they have provided.
Part of it's they're already in town, so
Yeah.
we'll probably save a little bit there.
Yeah. I think one of the concerns you get into in these, Bill, similar to when we did the pool demolition, is once you start getting after some of that concrete, you can run into a lot of stuff. Whether it's a need to over excavate or there's additional steel reinforcement in that concrete, that can change things. But they seem fairly confident that they can do this. So.
Yes. They do multiple demolition projects a year, so they're very, very familiar with this style of project. So.
One thing I would add to council on this, once this is demolished and that lot is cleared, we actually own two lots there. There's a lot right on Second and there's one right behind it. We'll want to consider what we want to do with those properties, whether we want a future use for them or we want to otherwise dispose of them. So,
What are they zone?
could easily go to commercial if it needed to, but it's right on the edge of central business district. So
Okay.
one thing to consider with that second property behind it is that the like the post office and a couple other buildings tend to use that area for parking. So that would it may be an inconvenience to dispose of it too. So just something to consider when we're looking at what to do with the park.
Sure.
All right, any other discussion? All right, we have a motion and a second. We'll do roll call since we're spending some money. Swear.
Aye.
Bowers.
Aye.
Doherty.
Aye.
Welch.
Aye.
And Riley.
Aye.
All right, treatment plant demolition is approved. All right, looks like all we have left is executive session for legal.
Motion to enter exec.
Second.
We have motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll go to legal and exec at 7:18.
I feel like warnings are just high and dry conditions.
Thanks for coming, Mitch.